Alright, so unfortunately, I just now noticed that my mic was pretty much like the lowest it could possibly be for my video. So I get to explain the thing again for the 50th time, but this time it's going to be a voiceover with background clips because I got some pretty decent background clips, so it's great, right? But it's just whatever, right? Okay, what I wanted to say, right? Why does heavy weapon get so much more flack compared to light weapon and medium weapon? And to understand why, I will start with an analogy. Right now on your screen, there will be three dudes, right? First thing you notice about one of the dudes is he's an amputee. He has no arms. He has no legs. Actually, I haven't drawn him yet. He could be a nugget. I don't know. I'm just gonna draw him amputated, right? And then the two dudes on the side are identical twins, but one of them's wearing a yellow shirt instead of a green shirt. I feel like the very first thing you'd notice is the dude on the right, who looks completely different, who is an amputee and he's missing his arms. Right? So, pretty much in this analogy, heavy weapon is the amputee, because heavy weapon is played completely differently than light and medium weapon. Right? And the reason why I'm able to say that, and the reason why I say that so boldly, is because I've played light, medium, and heavy, mainly heavy. Every single time I've hopped on heavy weapon and I get adjusted to heavy weapon, if I switch to light or medium weapon, it takes me a second, right? But if I go from light weapon to medium weapon, it's lickety split. I could literally strap a stiletto on my medium build and it will play the exact same as if I were to strap a base sword on my dagger or fist build. Why? Because they play the exact same. Now, the only real difference is one of them has quote-unquote less shaky block, but it doesn't really matter because one of them is just objectively faster. So there's that. And then, well, I mean, for starters, you have the basics now, right? Now, I'm gonna explain what a skill floor and a skill ceiling is, because a lot of people don't seem to know that, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, this thing's no skill. It's not no skill per se, but there's more to it than that, right? And before I even actually explain what a skill floor and ceiling is, because most people probably already know, the brain pretty much makes a shortcut where if it sees anything, it thinks, hey, I think I could do that. Like if you see somebody spinning their right arm clockwise and their left arm counterclockwise, you could be like, hey, yeah, I could do that. You try to do that, you cannot do that, because it's way more confusing than it looks, right? And that's the thing. When you play a build, you realize the downsides to the build, you realize how hard it is to play the build. But when you just see somebody who has mastery over a build playing the build, you immediately assume it's piss easy to play. Because you think, oh yeah, I could do that too. Oh, it's just Astro Wind, jump up, and then like Champion's World Throw, right? And the thing is, for Gale Breath, I'll give Gale Breath players some credit. Gale Breath is actually somewhat difficult to learn, but once you learn it, it is like overpowered. Now, it's also kind of like that with my Hellbreaker build, because it has a pretty decently low skill floor, because it's ice heavy, but it does have a really high skill ceiling. And the reason why I say this is because you will never see anybody really playing my build the way I play it, because most people don't have like 4 years of experience on ice heavy, first of all. And the second bit is, on top of people not having the experience, most people don't have the mastery, right? Because you could have less experience but more mastery than somebody else. But pretty much, you won't really see anybody playing ice heavy like super insanely, besides maybe like Chanman and me. And that's because Chanman also has a ton of hours on ice heavy. So you can expect him to do some crazy things when he's been playing a build for ages, right? But yeah, Ice Heavy has a low skill floor, meaning pretty much anybody can pick it up. Anybody can just do Ice Lance into like crit into Crystal Impale after uppercut. That's not hard. But what is hard is learning how to use Ice Heavy whenever you're fighting anybody who's actually like a real top 250. Not like a King Garp's top 250 where he 2v1'd my freshie when he was a freshie with his little butt buddy and he lost. Why? Because he's not like that off of his main build, right? Not like a fake top 250 like him. I'm talking some real top 250, like maybe Maybe like Icy. Icy's actually really good. I fought him a couple times. He tears people up. However, he does let people on his account, so people think Icy is worse than he actually is. It's like a whole thing. But he's pretty good. He's pretty good. But the thing is, with like, how do I phrase it? With heavy weapon in general, it's a low skill floor, but a high skill ceiling. Because pretty much anybody can pop berserk and do an uppercut. It's not that hard to do that. Pretty much anybody can assassinate into like M1 feint strong left. That's not hard to do. What is hard to do is gaining mastery over like heavy weapon. And me personally, I feel like every weapon type has a low skill floor, but with a light and medium weapon especially. Because the thing with light and medium weapon is just M1 M1 feint and then another M1, or M1 M1 feint and then back hit. I've personally played, like before this video, I was playing Frostdraw, like Rhyme Breakers. It was like main element Gale, so the issue might have been the fact that I was just on Gale. But it was like really easy to play. It was not difficult whatsoever. And here's the thing, that every weapon type being easy to use isn't exactly a bad thing. But making every single weapon type have a different, like, ceiling is. Because if light and medium weapon have the same ceiling, and it's like most of the game, most people would generally think, oh yeah, light weapon and medium weapon is harder to play. Because actually, if you look at the stats, less than 1/3 of Deepwoken players are actually running heavy weapon, which is kind of bad. Because if you look at the split, you'd think, oh yeah, it would be like 1/3 the pop plays like light, 1/3 plays medium, 1/3 plays heavy. No. Most of the people are on medium weapon or light weapon. There are some people on like heavy weapon, but the people on heavy weapon who are overpowered on it. They're using spec heavy weapons, which I feel like shouldn't count, because if you count like the best of the best on any like weapon type without also accounting for the other weapon types or the other weapons in the kit, it's kind of bad. Because like if I look at like Frostdraw and say like the whole Frostdraw kit is like a Z tier, and then I only talk about Ice Smash and Crystal Impale and Ice Lance, that's not the whole kit, that's just the top 3 moves on the element. Or if I talk about Gale Breath and say, oh yeah, Gale Trap, Twister Kicks, Astral Wind, Rising, Champions World Throw, Wind Blade, Wind Gun, they're all overpowered. I mean, that's like a good portion of Gale Breath's kit, but that's not the point, right? The point is, if you aren't looking at the whole tree, and you just generalize it based off the top of at the top, that doesn't work. Because a lot of people are doing that with like 6-6. They're like, oh yeah, top 250, you can still get top 250 on heavy. The point is, it's harder to do because it just doesn't measure up as well. And I'm saying it doesn't measure up as well if you're not on a spec weapon. If you're on a spec weapon like a Hailbreaker, which in my opinion, Hailbreaker isn't exactly crazy strong. The issue is most people don't fight Hailbreaker, so they don't know how to counter it. But everybody fights Gale Medium, so everybody knows how you're supposed to counter it, right? So there's that. And again, this video is getting kind of long. I've been like sitting in this chair yapping. I've been yapping for like the past hour and a half, trying to get the right take on this video, and I think this is the best take I've gotten so far. So there's that. But pretty much, and I feel like I probably should have prefaced the video by saying this at the start. You can use whatever weapon type you want. Nobody should stop you from using whatever weapon type you want. Like if you want to use light weapon, like you want to use guns like Marviflex, use guns. Nobody is stopping you. Sure, somebody might say, oh, your thing is no skill. But they won't know that it's no skill unless they play it at the same level you do. Nobody will play. The thing is, a lot of people will tell me, oh yeah, Ice Heavy is like, it like you don't need any skill to play it. Like, and then they say I suck and I'm just carried by Ice Heavy. I could play Alpha Ice Heavy. I have played Alpha Ice Heavy. Ice Heavy is really strong. That is true. But to get complete mastery, you need effort, right? And the thing is, a lot of people say, oh yeah, guns are overpowered. But you need like the skill to play. Like you need the mastery of it. You think Marviflex hopped on gun and was immediately top 250? No. Granted, his builds are really overpowered for chimes, but it took him some time to learn, oh yeah, I'm supposed to reload at this point, I'm supposed to abuse this to reload, I have to use, like, my bullets sparingly, I gotta use this and that and that. It takes some effort to use every build in the game, that's the thing. Not, like, everything in Deepwoken requires some skill to a degree, which is why, preferably, I try not to say something's no skill, and I'd rather say it's overpowered, because somebody with complete mastery over, like, let's say Frostdraw or Gale Breath will make the element look overpowered, but somebody who's a complete burger on it will make it look like bad. The only bad element right now, I would say, is Flame Charm, and that's because the only thing carrying Flame Charm is Rising Flame, Burning Servants, and then, like, Fire Palm. And the thing is, Rising Flame isn't even carrying it, it's the Meteor Slam talent. So if they just, like, remove, like, the Meteor Slam talent, Flame would, like, cease to exist. I do think that they should balance out the normal Flame mantras, because Flame Charm is the only skill tree, or element in the whole game, that doesn't hit in Ragdoll. It's a whole, every single Flame Charm mantra doesn't hit in Ragdoll, pretty much. Which is absurd. Like, Ash Slam doesn't hit in Ragdoll. Rising Flame, I think, hits in Ragdoll, maybe? I mean, if you have uppercuts on Heavy Weapon, it can't hit anybody on Ragdoll. Or not Heavy Weapon, on Blazing. Or not Blazing, the Flaming Uppercut. But this video is getting kind of long. I think it's like 10 minutes-ish. Yeah, it's 11 minutes. I think this is where I cut it. Goodbye, everybody.